Hello friends, welcome to my channel SS Nursing Point. So, if someone will ask you that he will tell you a interesting story, then what you can do? You can attentively listen that story. Why? Because it is very interesting. So, do you know what is that? So, when anyone can receive anything from anyone, or when a person can receive some words from others, then that is called as communication. So today we will discuss that interesting topic, communication, and that communication is very much important. Okay. Now we should discuss regarding communication. So communication is one type of important human interaction skill. That means all human may need that communication skills for survive. Okay, so but in our nursing profession it is very much important that all nurse should have a good communicator. Okay, why? Because in our nursing profession, we should give priority to our patient, and it is necessary that we should know what is the actual problem our patient. So according to that problem only, we should try to solve the problem of the patient. Yes or not? So for knowing that problem, it is very much necessary that we should communicate with our patient. So for a nurse, the communication is one type of vital role. Okay, so it is one type of important role of a nurse that all the nurse should having a good communicator. Next, we should discuss what is the definition of communication. So, communication is the process of exchanging information, thought, ideas and feelings from one to another. That means that communication is one type of process in which a individual person or a group of person may try to exchanging some information, thought, idea and feeling from one person to another person. So here one means what? Maybe that one will having individual or maybe a group of person. Say hence the another will also having a individual person or maybe having a group of person. So when we should try to convey some message, some information from one person to another person, that is called as communication. Next we should discuss here in definition. I will tell you that it is a process. Yes or not? So now we will discuss what is the communication process. So in our communication, the communication process is very much important. So that cycle is having communication process. So first one is sender, next one is encoding, next message, next channel, next one is receiver, next one is decoding, next one is feedback. So first we should discuss the first step, that is sender. So sender means what? The person who will try to convey some message from others, from them to others, then that is called as sender. Okay, so that means the sender may be having a individual person or may be having a group of person. So when a person should try to convey some messages from others, so that person, the person who will send the message, that person is called as sender. Okay, then the important role of the sender is that they should having the adequate knowledge regarding that message. Okay, whatever they should try to convey from others or whatever they should try to sending the messages from others, they should know what is the importance of that message, what is the value of that message. And they are having the role of the sender is having that they are having adequate knowledge regarding that message. Okay, then another function of the sender is that they should also act as a encoder. Okay, so now we should discuss what is encoder. So here it is written that encoding. So encoding means what? The sender will try to convey some message, yes or not? So when they should use some sign and symbols for conveying that message, that sign and symbol is having called as encoding. And why we should use some sign and symbol to convey some message? Because of attractiveness of our message. If we should use some signs or if we should use some symbols to convey a message, then what happen? Our message will having attractive. If our message will having attractive, then other peoples are having looks attentively what we should wants to tell. Okay, so for that only it is necessary that we should encoding our message. Okay, next one is message. So message means what? Whatever the information, thought, idea and feeling, that is called as message. Okay, that means what the sender wants to transfer to others, that is called as message. Next one is channel. Channel means the way through which the message will goes from one person to another. So that way is called as channel. That means maybe that way will having audio aid, maybe that way is having visual aid, or maybe the way is having tactile aid. For example, if I wants to tell you I. Okay, how we should tell you the structure of eye? By showing some model. If I will give you some model, if I will show you some poster or some model, that means that is called as channel. Okay, so if I should use some model, then what happen? You should attentively listen. Okay, you should, why? Because that is having attractiveness of our study. Okay, so that is called as channel. So channel means what? The way through which the messages goes from one to another, that is called as channel. Next one is receiver. But in channel, in our lecture come discussion method, eye to eye contact is very much important. Okay, and also in nurse patient relationship or nurse patient interaction, here also the eye to eye contact is very much important, and that eye to eye contact is also going under that channel. Okay, next one is receiver. So receiver means what? The person who will receive that information, that person is called as receiver. So maybe the receiver is having a single person, or maybe the receiver is having a group of person. So but receiver means what? The person who will receive that information, that is called as receiver. Here the sender will send the message. Okay, sender will send the message through channel, and also sender will doing that message encoding. Yes or not? Then receiver means what? They should receive that message. Okay, whatever the sender will send, they should receive. That is called as receiver. Next one is decoding. Decoding means what? If the receiver is having a group of people, then all people are not having the same intelligent power. Some people are adopt all the things very early, and some are having very slowly. Yes or not? So that process is called as decoding. That means the level of understanding of the receiver is otherwise called as decoding. Whatever you should tell to the person, or whatever you should sending the message to the receiver, what is the interacting process of the receiver, or what is the level of understanding power of the receiver, that is called as decoding. Next one is feedback. So the feedback is the last step of our communication process, but without feedback the communication process is not effective. So feedback means what? As a sender, you should sending some information, and the receiver will receive that information. Then as a sender, you should again ask some question to your receiver. If the receiver will answer that question clearly, then your communication process is effective. Then in that feedback, what happens? If the receiver is also having some doubt, the receiver will ask you some question, and as you sender, again you should teach that message or teach that information to the receiver. Then that process is called as feedback. So feedback means what? Feedback is the interaction process between the sender and receiver. Receiver will ask their doubt, sender will clarify the doubt of the receiver. Again the sender will ask the question to the receiver, and receiver will answer that question, and sender will receive that answer. So that process is called as communication process. Okay, so communication process means what? First the sender will try to sending some messages through channel, and that message will having properly encoding, or having attractiveness. Then receiver will receive that message. Then decoding means that is the interacting capacity or interacting power of sender, and interacting power of the receiver, that means the level of understanding of receiver. Next one is feedback. In that feedback, receiver will clarify their doubt, receiver will ask some question to the sender if they are having doubt. Okay, then again the sender will ask some question to the receiver, and receiver will answer that question. So that cycle is otherwise called as communication process. So communication process is very much important for our day-to-day life activity. Okay, so that is called as communication